Good afternoon, everyone. As you know, the election result is now out, and I quite deliberately refrained from making an impulsive video because I wanted time to reflect upon the result of the elections, and I also wanted to give time for others to reflect upon it. Let me begin by thanking all of those that participated in this election, particularly our campaign team, who have worked immensely hard during the course of the last 5 or 6 weeks. That's my campaign manager, all of the team that have worked either on the forefront or behind the scene, the volunteers, the social media team, the canvassers, the leafleters, absolutely everyone. And most importantly, all of the voters that came out and took part in the election, whether you voted for me or you voted for others. I thank you for taking part in this election. What your votes and your campaigning has achieved is slashed the Labour Party majority massively. Across the country, Labour have lost the support that they previously had. Just here in the whole Green and Moseley constituency, from nearly 36,000 votes in the 2019 election to just over 12,000 votes. That would not have been achievable unless you all showed your support away from the Labour Party and towards the campaign of the independents. It therefore follows from that I congratulate all of the independent candidates who have won the elections, whether that be Jeremy Corbyn, most importantly, but also other candidates, for example here in Birmingham, Ayub Khan, who have all taken Labour seats. We must, and I do, reflect upon the results of the elections here in the whole Green and Moseley constituency. It is clear that there were too many independent candidates here that divided the vote. However, it is not a mathematical calculation, it's an assumption that if, for example, Shakil Afsar stood down, all of his 7,000 votes would have automatically come onto my camp and I would have won this election. It is also naive to assume that all of the 6,000 voters that voted for me would necessarily have voted for Shakil. The reality here is that we both ran different types of campaigns. His politics was very different to my politics. I must accept and acknowledge that there was support for the manner in which Shakil ran his campaign, and there were many people that recognised his work that he has showcased over the course of the last 4 or 5 years. Equally, on the other hand, people have recognised my skill set, my background, the work that I have done for the community, and of course voted in similar bar 1,000 numbers. These things need to be reflected upon carefully and considerately, with respect and dignity for anyone who may have lost this election. We have two options here. One, that we start a smear campaign against the other and we continue to divide ourselves in isolation. The alternative is that we look at ways in order to try to ensure that the community comes together. All of these voters, whether it be the 6,000 here or the 7,000 on the other end, we work on a unified front. I have worked in this community for many years and I shall continue to try to give my assistance wherever possible in serving my community. I now look forward to working with Jeremy Corbyn, as I had promised to do prior to the campaign, during the campaign, and hopefully after the campaign, now that he is in Parliament.